Whereas a lot of young people's work is seen at youth platforms and so within their own peer group. People walking around here will see young people perform. They won't know that they're a young people's group. They won't necessarily know they're any different from any other professional. They will be judged from all the other professional work here, and they will stand against all of that. And I think they will, as proved by last year's company, Fried Gold, performing this year, they've been invited back. They stood in quality terms exactly with everybody else.
You'll never know what we've got planned.
We want you to be part of the scene, be successful, do great work in the future, hopefully see this as a sort of getting to know lots of people in the sector and hopefully continue.
So it's all about just getting to know each other through your eyes. It's the big difference between playing in a dark room like that and playing outdoors is you can see everybody.
You know, if you have a dream, but you don't know why it's significant. This is the sort of starting point of this project. I thought it might be useful to just have a think back to what's led you to this point.
Movement and rhythms, and we ended up building giant boxes which took up most of our time. Jump on them and jump off them and swing out of them and juggle on them.
I just did my dissertation and it was an interactive installation. I'd never worked in an interactive kind of way with an audience before, and I really enjoyed it. I'd like to carry it on. We don't really know where this is going to go.
I love dancing to live music, and we've done some Charleston stuff and we do rock and roll, and the piece is going to be set in a 1940s bar, and it's just about the relationships between everyone that sort of comes into this bar.
Both musicians are sort of trying to find a way of combining that with a mad tea party, film Alice in Wonderland. There'll be different parts of this tea party happening in different areas.
So yeah, I was hoping that you could draw some sort of map. Doesn't matter how you do it really, it might be pictures, might be words, but something that you can then use to explain to other people what your process has been today.
Oh, I don't know.
Izzy, how you done? Have you finished, do you reckon?
Right.
It's pretty good.
It's not 100% finished.
It's pretty, yeah.
So this one is the lavatory, which is where we've just been performing our Royce and Carpenter show. And then down here in the Reach we've got a Merge Festival, which we went to a little while ago. It's really interesting being at the second stage of it and being re-involved with people at their first stage, because like you can see that development process and you can recognise bits of yourself within that. So this is us and our
Writing a proposal. We've just joined the project from the Somerset. We were talking about writing the proposal. We went to buy some salads. That's the salads. That's the journey. Being part of touring performances, we've both been part of projects within the community with different groups of communities.
We're realising the possibilities of what we can do with the piece, and it's quite close to Harborside, especially with 6 of us trying to meet at the same time is very difficult.
30th anniversary, and they are holding the Festival of Desperation in the Autumn Block.
Step Up is this organisation where Cirque Bijou, they give funding to young artists to basically step up their game. And they give funding so that we can get decent costumes, get directors, do workshops with people that we want to work with, and produce a professionally made product that we can then tour and take around places.
Music, rhythm and all kinds of circus skills. The next act are a company who have been funded by an award called the Step Up Award, which is for promising street performers, and it's funded jointly by Bristol City Council, the Arts Council and Cirque Bijou. Ladies and gentlemen, be prepared to be amazed and dazzled by the skills and the rhythms of the fantastic Boom!
Had a lot more energy in as well. That was
It's because
really
the
nice.
stage was so hot that we were like...
Yeah.
There's loads of energy.
I'm really looking forward to doing it at Bristol Do.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be epic as
I'm
well.
gonna be able to wipe this grin off my face ever.
6, 7 weeks, 7 weeks? Yeah, something like that.
Deep rhythms captivate me, hot rhythms stimulate me. Can't help but swing it, boy. Swing it, brother, swing. Don't stop this diddle daddle. Stop this foolish prattle. Come on, swing it, boy. Swing it, brother, swing. Raring to go, and ain't nobody gonna hold me down. Hey, listen, Joe. Hurry up and send me, let me go to town.
This is the first time we've performed as a group this piece. There's definitely things that I know that I need to clarify for the next performance. It will be at Bristol Do and Engage.
I see this project as a sort of gateway into the biggest circus community.
We're not in a bad place. It's just yeah, it's a lot of work to do the next day.
It's good fun, it's an amazing stage. It was a lot easier to connect when we were doing the street performance.
I could say Bella, Bella, even say wunderbar language. Oh,
There's still ways that I want to develop it, a lot of ways.
The moments when the band's just on, I think there needs to be stuff still going on with us a lot more. And I've also researched into sort of women in that era and how people that all worked in the same sort of admin place or factories all went to the same bar and socialised. And there's a lot of different relationships between those women, like some good, some bad, and that some of them drank a lot through it and had taken a lot of male roles. And so we're trying to, that's the next step.
Strange, rather stranger than the rest, into the nothingness of scorn, even the dearest.
I'm not expecting it to go perfect, no. I think it will be a learning curve. We've got another performance of this piece in a month's time, so hopefully, this very first performance will show us what we need to do, if there's any changes that need to be made, and then we can just kind of make it best you can better. Hopefully, by the performance in October time, then it should be spot on.
The vast shipwrecks of my life, even the dearest, are strange, rather, nay.
You see things the way they are instead of seeing the ideas and beliefs.
We just want fresh air, and when the questions sought answers, none came.
We don't leave the stage, so it's sort of up to the audience to decide when they want to stop watching us.
The show we've just done is a completely different one from our original show. It's changed almost 100%. We thought we could do better than the old material.
One of the pictures that we looked at a lot when we were thinking about the design thing was it was a crack in concrete, sort of crack in a concrete pavement with flowers. I think they're actually weeds growing out of it. And something special and green and beautiful coming out of something that's cracked and grey. And we're trying to use our skills and the rhythms to be that energy, that brightness. Yeah.
When the Queen arrives at 6 o'clock for tea. What we need, Mousy, is a curtsy from you. Down! Cakes! Would you like to hear some more music? Look! Who's this down here? In the pink dress?
My queenie!
When we first went to Step Up, we had an idea of kind of swinging around in a tree, roughly based on Alice in Wonderland. It's just moved so far away.
They've been completely in control of the whole process, so it's not been a case of pushing them down avenues they don't want to go down, but sometimes suggesting things they might have missed or things that they're doing extremely well. We've had a relatively short amount of time to work, right?
2 weeks.
They've come a long way.
And then me and Lucy will help with any sets, so setting up the bench.
You know what's happening in 5 minutes' time, don't you, Mousy? Why, the Queen of England will be coming here!
It was a much easier crowd actually, because people were expecting to see this sort of thing and they were kind of up for it. Whereas here I think people really enjoyed it actually, and it was really good, but it was kind of a surprise.
Which is nice.
Oh me! Oh me!
It highlights a lot of things when you kind of work in a very intensive way, and it's good.
It's been really interesting for us to see what the interaction is.
Originally we just did a circuit around the site, which was kind of quite a nice way for her to find where she was.
Yeah. She needs to find her own story and her own context of character, where she's come from and what her purpose is.
Once we find really who the character is, rather than so far the journey's about making a puppet and discovering how to do that.
It's that sly old son of a gun again. He keeps telling me that he's the lucky one again. But I still have that rain, still have those tears and those rocks in my heart. He blows it into the bar. He can't blow a note if the bass and guitar isn't without. Now that you're back, please go. Stop this dinner saddle and this foolish straddle. Come on, kill me, boy, swing it, brother, swing.
Staying tuned in the right way, to see things the way they are instead of seeing them
Together we chased the road rainbow, found the pot was empty, so solved the pot.
I think it was really different. We tried to make a piece for an outdoor audience that would come and go whenever they liked, and it was different. But I think it was just as good.
Yeah,
it
it's
was
good
an
experience.
Oh, look at that!
Into the living sea of waking dreams.
The winter months we're gonna take this piece and really
Work on it.
Yeah,
And clean it, make it really
perfect.
yeah.
And then we're gonna tour it around festivals next year, hopefully.
Yeah. That is the plan.
That's the plan of action.
And it will happen.
It was really weird doing inside a theatre. It was like just bizarre having not been able to see the audience properly, because like when we did it at Bristol Do, it was such a success because we could like communicate with the audience and be like, hey, and look at them. I'd say Bristol Do was our peak so far, just because it was so weird doing it at the theatre.
We're much more relaxed now when we're on stage.
Flow's a lot better as
Yeah,
well, I think.
yeah, it's got a flow and a storyline, so like.
And there's more of a connection
yeah.
between all of us.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Sir Bijou, make some noise for Boo!
step up ends, we're still stepping up.
Oh yeah.
It's about bringing these young people together to create work and make connections, and I think that's what will make us have a vibrant outdoor performance industry in the future, and that's what will be really that's where the future work will be.